The reason why I'm making this video was I understand and acknowledge Hitler was bad, but there are so many other terrible atrocities that took place in our history, and we just don't talk about this, which is, I feel like, sad. And I don't know if they're teaching this at school. So this is what did you say, 92 million in total? Hey everyone, it's Opie here for another video where I talk about health, wealth and happiness. So I picked up my daughter and my son from school the other day, and we're driving back, and she talks to me about Hitler. So apparently they had learned about Hitler in school, and she was telling me how bad he is, and goes on a bit of a tangent. And I go, okay, Hitler is bad, but did you learn about anyone else? And she goes, who? Like other bad people? And she's like, no, Hitler's the worst. And I go, okay, yeah, look, I agree. Hitler is pretty bad, but did you learn about any of the other leaders that killed millions more people? She goes, no. And I'm going, well, I've got a surprise for you. Let me introduce you to this book, the Black Book of Communism. And often I end up putting this in the doorway because my wife's got these arty books at the front. I'm like going, oh, I'll put this instead. So just to spice up the conversation when guests come over. But basically this book tells you all the atrocities that happened under communism. Let me illustrate this point a bit more. In the book of Black Book of Communism, how many people died under each regime?
The Black Book of Communism estimates deaths for several regimes. Here are the rough numbers. Soviet Union, 20 million. China, 65 million. Vietnam, 1 million. North Korea, 2 million. Cambodia, 2 million. Eastern Europe, 1 million. Latin America, 150,000. And Africa, 1.7 million. Remember, these figures are debated among historians.
What's the total?
Adding those estimates together gives a rough total of around 92 million deaths. Keep in mind, these numbers are debated, and different historians may provide different figures.
So out of all of these dictators, who was the worst one?
It's difficult to definitively say who was the worst, since each dictator's actions had different impacts. Stalin, Mao, and Hitler are often cited for the sheer scale of deaths under their regimes. Each caused immense suffering in different contexts. Stalin's purges and famine, Mao's Great Leap Forward and Cultural Revolution, and Hitler's Holocaust and World War II. Each case is unique and tragic.
It's crazy, right? So if I remember correctly, Chairman Mao in China was 65 million. Joseph Stalin, Soviet Union, was about 20 million. And then Hitler was about 11 million. So these are horrific crimes. And the reason why I'm making this video was I understand and acknowledge Hitler was bad, but there are so many other terrible atrocities that took place in our history, and we just don't talk about this, which is I feel like sad. And I don't know if they're teaching this at school. So this is what did you say, 92 million in total? It's huge, right? Huge. Here's another point. Tell me about Goodwin's law. Check this out.
Sure. Godwin's law is an internet adage stating that as an online discussion grows longer, the likelihood of someone making a comparison to Hitler or the Nazis approaches 1. It highlights how extreme comparisons can emerge in debates. The law suggests that once this happens, the discussion is considered derailed.
Exactly. So the more people argue online, Hitler seems to always come up. They describe him as the worst of the worst. There's Joe Blow over there. Oh, he did something so wrong. He's got to be like Hitler. And isn't it ironic that we go back to the same, person? And just let's be really clear. I'm not defending Hitler in any way. I'm just getting the point that when people don't have facts or arguments to back up their case, it always falls down to Hitler. And as we just heard, when there's no evidence left, when it's just gone down a rabbit hole, they just basically call names and label you Hitler. Anyway, the point of this was to make sure you understand history, especially about communism and how much of a heartache it has been for millions of people, millions and millions of people. And just another thing, the socialism that we are getting introduced to on different parts of the world, even in university campuses in much of the Western world, socialism is just the ugly sister of communism. She might have lipstick on, but they're both very ugly. I'll leave you with that thought. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks so much for listening. Bye.